The twin suns of Karsis-9 dipped low over the horizon, painting the sky in shades of orange and violet. In the heart of the colony, the city hummed with life. People hurried through the streets. Children laughed, and the distant hum of transport ships filled the air. But beneath the ordinary sounds of daily life, a silent tension lingered, something no one could explain. Captain Lena stared out of the observation window of the command tower. Her dark eyes scanned the stars, searching for anything unusual. The colony had been peaceful for decades, and Earth's distant fleet had kept watch, far beyond the colony skies. Yet today the sensors had picked up something strange. A tiny blip had appeared on the radar. At first, the technicians dismissed it as interference. But the blip moved with purpose, cutting through space at impossible speeds. Lena frowned. "It's not a meteor," she said, her voice calm but tense. "Prepare for a closer scan." Moments later, the main screen flickered. What they saw made everyone in the command center freeze. Dozens of massive ships appeared, moving in perfect formation. Their dark hulls absorbed the light from Karsis-9 suns, casting shadows over the colony cities, even from orbit. There was no flag, no signal, only an unbroken, terrifying silence. Lena's heart pounded. She had trained for space combat, for invasion drills, but nothing prepared her for this. "Alert the colony," she ordered, "and get Earth Command on the line now." The communication channels were dead. Static hissed back at them, and then only silence. Panic rippled through the room. Outside, civilians had started to notice strange shapes in the sky, and whispers of fear spread through the streets. Without warning, the first strike came. Lasers cut through the atmosphere, and distant buildings erupted in fire. Transport ships were torn apart midair. Civilians screamed and ran in all directions, desperately trying to find shelter. Lena clenched her fists. She could feel the weight of the colony on her shoulders. "Bring the defense drones online," she shouted, "and prepare the evacuation shuttles." The control room became a hive of activity. Technicians worked furiously, coordinating emergency defenses. Yet, the alien ships moved with terrifying precision, avoiding the defenses with ease. Their weapons were unlike anything humans had ever seen, silent, deadly, and seemingly intelligent. In the chaos, Lena spotted a group of children trapped near the central plaza. Without hesitation, she grabbed a rifle and sprinted through the burning streets, leading a small team of soldiers. Civilians followed, inspired by her courage. Every second counted. As they reached the plaza, the sky darkened even further. A massive shadow passed overhead. Lena looked up and her stomach turned. One of the alien command ships hovered directly above them, massive and silent. Its hull shimmered like black glass, reflecting the fires below. Then something even stranger happened. A signal, a pulse of light, flashed from the ship toward the colony. It wasn't random. Lena felt it in her mind, a strange sense of calculation, as if the alien intelligence was studying them, learning from every movement. "Is this communication?" muttered one of the scientists, his voice trembling. "Or a warning?" Before anyone could answer, the alien ship fired again. Buildings collapsed, and the ground shook violently. Civilians screamed, and dust filled the air. Lena pulled a group of survivors into a nearby shelter. She could barely hear herself think over the chaos, but her resolve was unshakable. "This is only the beginning," she whispered. She looked at the terrified faces around her and knew one thing. If humanity was going to survive, they had to fight, not just for themselves, but for everyone counting on them. Outside, more ships appeared on the horizon. The alien fleet was massive, bigger than anything the humans had imagined. Lena's communicator crackled to life. Earth Command finally responded, their voices calm but urgent. "Captain Lena, we see the fleet. Hold your position. Earth's fleet is on the way." Relief mixed with doubt. How long would it take for Earth's fleet to reach them? Could they hold the colony until then? The sky darkened as the alien ships advanced. Lena took a deep breath. She tightened her grip on her rifle. Around her, soldiers and civilians alike looked to her for guidance, hope, and courage. For a moment, everything was still. Then, With a roar that shook the city, the first wave of alien attackers descended, and just like that, humanity's fight for survival had begun. The stars above seemed endless, but so did the shadow of the approaching fleet. Lena knew one thing with certainty. They had to survive, or no one would. The alien fleet hung over Karsis-9 like a dark storm. Fires burned across the cities, smoke twisting into the sky. Captain Lena ran from building to building, organizing survivors and soldiers. Every second counted. Civilians panicked, but her presence brought a spark of hope. "Form a defensive line," she shouted. "Use whatever you can, vehicles, debris, drones. We fight for every street." The colonists scrambled to obey. Children and adults alike carried whatever could be used as weapons. Even the city's transport drones were armed hastily, their sensors reprogrammed for defense. Lena coordinated every move with precision. She knew they were outnumbered, but humanity had something the aliens didn't: courage. Above, the alien ships moved with frightening intelligence. Lasers sliced through buildings, and massive energy blasts tore into the streets. Every defense the humans deployed seemed barely enough to scratch them. Yet, Lena refused to give in. "Hold your ground. Do not let them take the Central Plaza," she shouted, her voice cutting through the chaos. Soldiers and civilians alike dug in, firing makeshift weapons, launching drones, and setting traps. Despite the terror, small victories began to emerge. A young engineer named Kale managed a hack into one of the alien drones, turning it against its own fleet. A transport ship narrowly avoided destruction, carrying dozens of children to safety. Lena's heart swelled with pride. Humanity was fighting back, even in the face of near-impossible odds. Suddenly, the alien commander appeared in the sky. A massive ship, its hull gleaming with dark energy. It released smaller attack pods that swarmed the city like hornets. Buildings exploded, and streets cracked under the force of the blasts. The colonists fell back under the overwhelming assault. "Regroup at the southern sector," Lena ordered, her mind racing. She grabbed her rifle and led a small squad to the burning streets. Civilians followed, trusting her guidance. As they ran, Lena noticed something unusual. The alien attacks weren't random. They anticipated human moves. Every trap and every escape route they tried seemed already countered. A chill ran down her spine. These were not just attackers. They were hunters. A sudden explosion threw Lena off her feet. Dust and rubble filled the air. She coughed and struggled to her feet, helping a wounded soldier. The city was crumbling, and still the alien fleet pressed forward. "Captain, look!" Kale shouted. On the horizon, a massive shadow moved through the sky. It was Earth's fleet finally arriving. Massive ships of silver and white cut through space, their weapons glowing. Hope surged in Lena's chest. Humanity was not alone, but the aliens reacted instantly. They formed a defensive wall, ready to intercept the incoming fleet. Energy beams clashed in the atmosphere, lighting up the sky like fireworks of destruction. The humans on the ground could only watch as two titanic forces collided above them. Lena's communicator crackled. "Captain Lena, hold your position. Earth's fleet is engaging. Focus on protecting civilians until reinforcements arrive." She nodded, even though she knew the danger was far from over. The alien attack pods were still descending, cutting through streets with deadly precision. Lena and her team fought bravely, rescuing trapped civilians, laying traps and firing at the pods. At one point, a massive pod landed directly in front of Lena. It was bigger than any human vehicle, its dark metal glinting with an eerie light. She fired her rifle, but the bullets bounced harmlessly off its surface. Thinking fast, she grabbed an explosive charge and hurled it beneath the pod. The explosion rocked the street, and the pod toppled, revealing a hatch. From inside, alien soldiers poured out, armed and ready. "Keep pushing. Don't let them break through." Lena screamed. They fought hand to hand in the streets, civilians joining wherever they could. Every second was a battle for survival. Every breath a fight against fear. Through it all, Lena's eyes never left the sky. Earth's fleet was winning some battles, but the alien commander's ship still dominated the horizon. Lena realized a full truth. Even with Earth's arrival, survival was not guaranteed. They had to hold the line until reinforcements could strike decisively. The sun dipped completely below the horizon, and Karsis-9 was bathed in shadows. Fires burned, alarms screamed, and the city trembled under the alien assault. Yet, in the middle of chaos, Captain Lena stood tall. She raised her rifle, rallying her soldiers and civilians alike. "This is our home. Fight for it. Fight for each other," she shouted. Her words cut through the fear, igniting courage in the hearts of everyone around her. For a moment, the world seemed frozen. Humans and aliens faced each other across streets of fire. Then, with a deafening roar, the battle continued, louder and deadlier than ever. And above them all, Earth's fleet glimmered against the dark sky, a shining hope in a world that thought it was lost. But Lena knew one thing. This was only the beginning. The sky above Karsis-9 burned with fire. Earth's fleet had arrived, massive ships glinting silver against the darkened horizon, their engines roaring through the atmosphere. The alien fleet hovered, black and silent, waiting, but they were no longer the hunters of helpless civilians. Now, they faced a full-scale human counterattack. Captain Lena stood on the observation deck of the Central Command Tower. Her eyes scanned the chaos. Streets were still on fire, and civilians scrambled for cover. But the humans now had a chance. "All units, focus fire on the outer alien ships," she commanded. "Protect the civilians at all costs." The alien fleet responded immediately. Energy beams shot across the sky, striking both human ships and city structures. The clash of metal and light turned the horizon into a burning storm. Every shot fired by the humans was met with precise alien counterattacks. It was clear the enemy had learned from the last encounter. They were adapting. From the central plaza, Lena watched as small fighter ships from Earth zipped through alien formations, dodging attacks with expert precision. "Focus on their command vessels," she shouted. "If we take down the leaders, the rest will falter." Below her, soldiers and civilians were still defending the city. Makeshift barricades were holding for now, but the alien pods continued to descend, striking with lethal efficiency. Lena's heart pounded. Every second was a fight against not just the aliens, but time itself. Then came the unexpected. One of the alien command ships, massive and dark, detached from the main fleet. It moved toward the colony at a terrifying speed, as if drawn to some hidden target. Lena's mind raced. This ship wasn't just part of the battle. It had a purpose. "Divert all fire to that ship," she ordered, her voice sharp. But even as human and Earth fleet weapons fired, the alien vessel deflected them with an invisible shield, advancing steadily toward the city. Lena knew the civilians were in immediate danger. She grabbed a small squad and boarded a fast transport ship. "We stop it, or everyone dies," she said, her hands gripping the controls. Soldiers nodded grimly, understanding the risk. As they approached the alien ship, its surface shimmered. It was almost alive, pulsing with an eerie light. Lena fired missiles, lasers, anything she could, but the ship remained unscathed. Then a hatch opened, releasing a wave of smaller attack pods. Lena's ship was hit, spinning violently. She managed to regain control, dodging explosions as her squad returned fire. Meanwhile, in orbit, Earth's fleet clashed with the main alien formation. Ships collided in massive bursts of energy, sending fragments raining toward the planet. The sheer scale of destruction was breathtaking. Yet, in the middle of this chaos, human ingenuity shone. Pilots used debris as cover. Engineers hacked alien drones mid-flight, and soldiers on the ground launched makeshift counterattacks. Humanity was holding its own. On the transport, Lena spotted something odd, a strange glow emanating from the alien command ship. It seemed to be scanning them, almost probing their minds. "It's not just a ship," Kale shouted from the co-pilot seat. "It's intelligent." The squad realized then that the aliens were not mindless attackers. They studied every move, anticipating strategies, learning from each human counterattack. Lena's mind raced. To defeat them, they needed to be unpredictable, to fight with heart and courage, not just weapons. She adjusted their approach, feigning left, then right, dodging the pods. Explosions rocked the transport, but Lena pushed forward. Finally, They reached the base of the command ship. Lena launched a coordinated strike, using the ship's blind spots. The missile struck, and for a moment, the massive vessel shuddered. But victory was temporary. Another alien command ship appeared, bigger, faster, and more dangerous. The human fleet was outnumbered, and Lena realized this was no longer just about defense. It was a battle for survival. Back on the city streets, civilians watched the sky with fear and awe. The sheer size of the fleets, the precision of attacks, and the relentless courage of humans fighting back inspired a strange mixture of hope and terror. Lena took a deep breath. "We survived this or no one will," she whispered. Her voice carried determination, courage, and the unyielding will of humanity. The two fleets clashed in the sky, a storm of fire, metal, and light. The outcome was uncertain, but one thing was clear. The humans of Karsis-9, aided by Earth's fleet, were not going to give up without a fight. And above the battle, the alien flagship pulsed with strange energy, signaling that this conflict was far from over. The war had escalated, and the true test of humanity's courage was just beginning. The aftermath of the battle left Karsis-9 battered. Fires burned across the city, and smoke rose in thick black clouds. The alien fleet had pulled back, hovering just beyond the planet's atmosphere, observing. Earth's ships hovered above, their engines still humming, but the victory was far from complete. Captain Lena walked through the ruined streets with her squad, helping survivors and gathering what intelligence they could. Every corner held danger, debris, alien traps, and lingering energy pulses from the weapons. But Lena's mind was elsewhere. She had noticed something in the battle that didn't make sense. "The aliens aren't just attacking," she muttered. "They're learning, studying us." Kale, the young engineer, nodded grimly. "I've been analyzing the drones we captured. They've been recording everything, our movements, our attacks, even our strategies. It's like they're predicting us." Suddenly, a scientist from the colony shouted, "Captain, you need to see this." Lena followed him into a temporary lab. On the holographic display, strange alien symbols glowed, pulsing rhythmically. "It's a message," the scientist explained, "or maybe a signal, but it's unlike anything we've ever seen. I think it's scanning our minds." Lena's brow furrowed. The aliens weren't just conquerors. They were collectors of knowledge, perhaps even trying to understand human thought, emotions, and tactics. If they succeeded, every future battle would be predictable for them. Outside, the city was tense but quiet. Civilians whispered among themselves. Fear etched into every face. Yet hope lingered. Earth's fleet had not left, and human ingenuity had already turned the tide in the last fight. Kale's voice broke the silence. "Captain, I think we can use this against them. If we understand how they scan us, we can trick them." Lena's eyes lit up with determination. "Do it. Whatever it takes, we'll fight smarter. Humans don't give up. We improvise." Meanwhile, the alien flagship hovered silently in orbit. Its surface pulsed, sending strange waves through the atmosphere. Sensors on Earth's fleet picked up irregular energy readings. It was clear. The aliens had an intelligence far beyond anything humans had faced. But Lena knew one thing. Human courage could not be measured in algorithms or energy readings. A sudden alarm blared. Earth's fleet had detected an unknown movement within the alien formation. Another ship had broken off, heading toward an uncharted sector of space. The fleet commanders exchanged worried glances. "They're regrouping," Lena said. "They're not finished yet." Back on Karsis-9, Lena and her team worked tirelessly to analyze the alien technology left behind. They found patterns in the symbols, hints of strategy embedded in the drone's behavior, and signs that the aliens had underestimated human creativity. Small devices were rigged to mimic alien signals, sending false data back to the fleet. It was risky, but it might give humanity the edge they needed. Civilians, inspired by Lena's courage, joined in. Engineers, teachers, and students worked side by side, creating makeshift defenses and countermeasures. In the midst of destruction, humanity's spirit shone brighter than ever. Suddenly, a scout ship from Earth returned with urgent news. "Captain Lena, the alien command ship has vanished from sensors, but strange pulse remains. It's pointing to a sector far beyond our maps, coordinates unknown. Lena's mind raced. It could be a trap or a lure. Either way, we have to investigate. We can't let them strike again without understanding them. As night fell over the shattered city, Lena stood on a ridge overlooking the horizon. The alien fleet glimmered faintly above, silent and menacing. The humans below her, soldiers, civilians, engineers, looked to her for direction, hope, and courage. "This is far from over," Lena whispered. "We've learned something today. The aliens are smart, but humans are unpredictable. And that might just save us." In orbit, the alien flagship pulsed again, sending waves of energy into space. Somewhere deep within that ship, an intelligence watched, calculated, and waited, but it had not anticipated one thing: the unyielding heart of humanity. The city held its breath. The next move would determine the fate of Karsis-9 and perhaps the entire human colonies. Lena clenched her fists, ready for whatever came next. The secrets were out, but so was humanity's resolve. The battle lines had shifted. Humanity was no longer just defending. They were learning, adapting, and preparing to strike back. And somewhere beyond the stars, the aliens realized they were dealing with a force far more dangerous than they had ever imagined. The alien fleet had vanished from Karsis-9 skies, but the threat remained. Captain Lena stood on the command deck of an Earth cruiser, staring at the holographic map. The unknown sector where the alien flagship had moved glowed ominously. Lena's jaw tightened. "We can't wait for them to strike again. We take the fight to them." Her squad, a mix of elite soldiers and daring pilots, prepared for the most dangerous mission of their lives. Transport ships were loaded with weapons, energy shields, and specialized drones. Every detail was planned, but Lena knew one thing: the aliens were intelligent, adaptive, and deadly. No plan would survive first contact. Kale approached her, holding a small device. "This will help us," he said. "It can interfere with the alien scanning. We create false signals, make them think we're somewhere we're not." Lena nodded. "Good. Every trick counts." The squad entered their transports, engines humming as they lifted off the planet. Civilians and soldiers on Karsis, 9 watching below, hearts heavy but hopeful. Lena looked back once. "We do this not just for ourselves, but for everyone waiting for Earth to protect them." As the ships pierced the atmosphere and entered space, tension filled the cabins. Silence, punctuated only by the hum of engines, settled over the squad. Every sensor flickered, every system tested. The unknown sector lay ahead, filled with danger and uncertainty. Then the first sign appeared: debris in space. At first, it looked like the aftermath of natural phenomena, but Lena's trained eyes recognized immediately: alien traps. Mines and energy fields floated in the void, waiting for unsuspecting ships. "Divert thrusters. Deploy shields." Lena shouted. The transports maneuvered skillfully, dodging explosions and invisible energy pulses. The squad realized the aliens had set a gauntlet, trying to thin their numbers before the main battle. After what felt like hours, they reached the edge of the alien fleet. It was massive, larger than anything humans had imagined. Ships shimmered in black and purple energy, moving with eerie precision. The flagship hovered at the center, pulsing with energy that seemed alive. Lena's stomach tightened, but she pushed forward. "Split into attack formations," she ordered. "We go for the command vessels. Disable them, and the rest will scatter." The squad moved with deadly efficiency. Energy beams lit up the void. Ships collided, and the silence of space was shattered by explosions. Human ingenuity shone. Captured alien drones were hacked mid-flight, creating confusion in the enemy ranks. Lena's squad dodged attacks, striking with calculated precision. Then, a massive shockwave rocked the squad. The alien flagship had fired a weapon, a pulse of energy that sent transports spinning violently. Lena gritted her teeth, adjusting the shields. "We're close. We can't let this stop us." Kale's device hummed as it emitted pulses, interfering with alien sensors. For a moment, their ships became invisible, like ghosts moving through space. The flagship hesitated, unable to track them fully. Lena saw her chance. "Now!" she shouted. The squad launched a coordinated attack, on the flagship's weak points. Missiles struck, energy beams blasted hulls, and for the first time, the alien flagship faltered. The immense ship shuddered, sparks flying across its surface. But the victory was short-lived. Smaller alien vessels swarmed the squad, their attacks relentless. Lena realized the fight was far from over. "Stick to the plan. Focus on the command ship," she barked. The squad pressed forward, weaving through attacks, using every trick and tactic they had learned from previous battles. Human courage and creativity shone against superior alien technology. Every move was risky. Every second could be their last. Finally, the flagship pulsed violently and a section of its hull cracked. Lena's eyes widened. "We did it! Hit it again!" Missiles struck true, and the alien flagship exploded in a brilliant flash of light, sending shock waves across the fleet. Smaller alien ships hesitated, confused and leaderless. For a brief moment, silence fell. The humans hovered in space, breathing heavily, stunned by their daring success. The flagship was destroyed, or so it seemed. Then, Kale's console beeped urgently. "Captain, there's another signal. Another fleet coming from deeper space. It's larger and heading straight for us." Lena's eyes narrowed. This was no ordinary enemy. Humanity had won this battle, but the war was far from over. She clenched her fists, prepare for the next fight. We survive or no one will. Above the squad, the stars stretched endlessly, but somewhere in the void, new dangers waited. Humanity had struck back, but the galaxy was far from safe. The stars above seemed to stretch endlessly, but the calm of space was deceptive. Captain Lena's squad had barely recovered from destroying the alien flagship when sensors picked up the new threat. A massive alien fleet, larger, faster, and more deadly than anything humans had faced, was heading straight for them. Earth's fleet scrambled into position. Ships glimmered with defensive shields, engines flaring as they prepared for war. Lena stood on the bridge, gripping the railing. Her squad mates moved with tense efficiency, checking weapons coordinates and shields. The city of Karsis-9 lay behind them, still burning from previous attacks. Humanity had no choice. This battle would decide the fate of their colonies. "Form battle lines," Lena commanded. "We fight with everything we have." The aliens arrived like a black storm. Ships advanced in perfect formation, energy beams slicing the void. Smaller attack pods dove toward the humans, detonating near transport ships. Explosions rippled through space, sending debris spinning violently. The humans fought back with relentless courage. Missiles fired, drones hacked, and energy beams fired in precise bursts. Lena piloted her transport close to the front line. "Stick together," she shouted. Soldiers and engineers manned weapons, firing tirelessly. Every second felt like a lifetime, every move a gamble. The aliens were smart, but humanity's unpredictability was their strength. Kale's device continued to emit pulses, creating false signals and confusing enemy sensors. For a moment, the humans gained a slight advantage, slipping past ambushes and striking command vessels. But the alien fleet adapted quickly, unleashing a massive energy weapon that shook ships violently. Lena's transport rocked, alarms blaring. "We can't let them hit the colonies." Lena shouted, adjusting their trajectory. Her squad moved with coordination born of desperation. Humans and Earth soldiers fought side by side, covering one another, improvising at every turn. Suddenly, the massive alien weapon powered up again, a destructive pulse capable of wiping planets. Lena's heart raced. "We have to disable it," she yelled. "Target the control ship." The squad maneuvered through a storm of laser fire, debris, and explosions. Transport ships weaved between giant alien vessels, while fighter ships launched coordinated attacks. Lena fired missiles at weak points in the alien control ship, dodging counterattacks. Sparks flew as metal collided with metal, energy shields flaring with every hit. A soldier shouted, "Captain, the weapon is destabilizing." Lena nodded grimly. "Keep firing. Push it over the edge." The flagship shuddered violently, then exploded in a blinding flash. Shock waves rippled through the alien fleet, sending smaller ships tumbling. The humans pressed their advantage, striking with everything they had. Every strike counted. Every life fought for mattered. On Karsis-9 below, civilians watched from temporary shelters. The sky above was alive with light, fire, and destruction. The battle seemed endless, but the courage of humans inspired hope. Even in the darkest moments, humanity refused to bow. Then came a moment of heroism that would be remembered for generations. Lena and her squad launched a daring boarding mission on the flagship's core, risking everything to destroy the control center. They fought alien soldiers hand-to-hand, dodging energy beams and structural collapses. Their courage and ingenuity turned the tide once more. Finally, the control center was destroyed. The alien fleet faltered, leaderless and confused. Energy weapons fizzled. Ships lost formation, and retreat became inevitable. Lena and her squad watched as the remaining ships fled into the void. The threat momentarily ended. Breathing heavily, Lena looked out at the horizon. The stars were calm again, but she knew the galaxy had changed. Humanity had faced a terrifying enemy, one that studied, adapted, and hunted them. Yet they had survived. They had fought with courage, ingenuity, and an unbreakable spirit. Kale placed a hand on her shoulder. "We did it for now." Lena nodded, knowing he was right. The battle was won, but the war for survival, for freedom, and for hope was never truly over. Humanity had shown the galaxy that they were not weak, not helpless, and not alone. In the distance, the ruins of Karsis-9 gleamed faintly in the starlight. The fleet, battered but undefeated, hovered protectively above. Lena clenched her fists, a quiet determination in her eyes. The humans had survived against all odds, and now they would rise stronger than ever. And somewhere far beyond the stars, the aliens realized they were facing a force they could not easily predict, a species that would fight with heart, courage, and unyielding resolve. Humanity had won the battle, but the galaxy would never forget the courage of those who stood against impossible odds. The battle was over. The alien fleet had retreated into the darkness of space, leaderless and broken. Karsis-9 lay in ruins, smoke rising from shattered cities, but the people had survived. Humanity had faced extinction and lived. Captain Lena stood atop a ridge overlooking the city, her silhouette bathed in the light of twin suns rising over the horizon. She took a deep breath, feeling the weight of what had happened. Civilians and soldiers moved among the ruins, rescuing survivors, putting out fires and rebuilding what they could. Children clung to their parents, and adults exchanged relieved smiles. But the scars of war were clear. Lena's heart swelled with pride at the resilience of her people. Humanity had endured what no one thought they could. Earth's fleet hovered above, helping to stabilize the planet and provide aid. Massive transport ships delivered supplies, medical teams, and engineers. Communications with other colonies were reestablished, and messages of hope spread across human settlements. Humanity had shown the galaxy that they were not weak. They were a force to be reckoned with. Kale approached Lena, holding a small device that had been recovered from the alien flagship. "Captain, we still don't know who they were or why they attacked. This signal, it's still active." Lena frowned, taking the device. The pulse of energy from the alien technology hummed quietly, almost like a heartbeat. "They might return," she said softly, "but we're ready. Whatever comes next, we won't be helpless again." Below, the civilians began celebrating quietly. They cheered for their defenders, for Earth's fleet, and for the bravery of Captain Lena and her squad. Banners were raised, not a conquest, but survival and unity. Humanity had not only survived, they had proven that courage, determination, and intelligence could overcome even the deadliest foes. Lena walked through the city, observing the small acts of heroism everywhere. Soldiers helping injured civilians, engineers repairing transport vehicles, children distributing food to the elderly. In the midst of devastation, humanity's spirit shone brighter than ever. She paused near a collapsed building, where a small group of children were drawing pictures of the fleet and their defenders. One little girl looked up at Lena and whispered, "Thank you for saving us." Lena smiled, kneeling down. "We all fight for each other. That's what makes us strong." As the sun fully rose, casting golden light over the broken city, Lena knew that humanity had changed. The colonies had been tested, their courage proven, and their ingenuity sharpened. The HFY spirit, the belief that humans could rise against any odds, was stronger than ever. Kale spoke again. Captain, the alien pulse might be a warning. Or maybe an invitation. Either way, we should study it. There could be more out there. Lena nodded. We will. But today we celebrate. We survived the impossible, and we showed the galaxy what humans are capable of. She looked up at the stars, still shimmering beyond the atmosphere. Somewhere out there in the vast darkness, threats waited. But humans were no longer afraid. They had faced death, darkness, and the unknown, and emerged victorious. The fleet above the planet slowly descended, aiding in rebuilding and reinforcing defenses. Lena's squad regrouped, tired but triumphant. They shared quiet smiles, knowing they fought not just for survival, but for hope itself. Captain, Kale said quietly, do you think they'll come back? Lena's eyes scanned the endless sky, thoughtful but unwavering. Maybe, but if they do, we'll be ready. Humanity doesn't back down. We fight, we survive, and we protect each other no matter what. The people of Karsis-9 cheered from the streets as Lena stood tall. Fire still burned in places, but hope burned brighter. Humanity had proven that even in the darkest moments, courage, ingenuity, and unity could turn despair into triumph. And as the twin suns rose higher, casting light across a battered but resilient world, Captain Lena and her people knew one thing with certainty. Humanity's fight was far from over, but so was humanity's strength. The galaxy had witnessed the courage of humans, and for the first time, many wondered, could any force, no matter how powerful, truly break the spirit of humanity? Hope had been restored. Karsis-9 was quiet now. The smoke had cleared, the fires had been extinguished, and the streets buzzed with the cautious energy of rebuilding. Captain Lena walked among the survivors, offering guidance, helping with logistics, and listening to stories of heroism and loss. Humanity had survived the impossible, but the war had left its scars. Earth's fleet remained in orbit, providing support and protection. Massive ships hovered silently, monitoring the edges of the system, their presence a comforting reminder that humans were no longer alone. Lena watched from the observation deck, scanning the horizon. The twin suns reflected off her determined eyes. Kale approached, holding a small device recovered from the alien flagship. Captain, the signal is changing, he said, worry creeping into his voice. It's faint, but it's definitely moving again. We're picking up coordinates far beyond our map systems. Lena's gaze hardened. So they're still out there. Her voice was calm, but inside, adrenaline surged. Humanity had won the battle, but the war and the galaxy was far from predictable. In the distance, a small fleet of alien ships appeared at the edge of Karsis-9 system, not attacking, not retreating, just observing. Their black hulls shimmered against the starlight. It was clear. They were studying, waiting for the next moment to strike. Lena realized these were scouts, harbingers of something bigger lurking beyond the known space. Prepare the fleet, she commanded. We don't wait for them. We monitor, we defend, and if needed, we strike first. Below, civilians watched the sky. Children pointed at the distant shadows, imagining monsters, heroes, in cosmic battles. Lena smiled faintly. Humanity had learned something vital. Courage wasn't just about fighting. It was about hope, vigilance, and unity in the face of the unknown. Kale's device pulsed again. The signal wasn't just moving, it was adapting. It seemed almost intelligent, aware of humanity's victories, and possibly calculating the next attack. Lena frowned. This was no ordinary enemy. Whatever lay beyond the stars, it would challenge humans in ways they hadn't yet imagined. Yet, she knew one thing. Humanity was ready. The colonies had learned, adapted, and survived. Earth's fleet had proven their strength. And Lena, along with countless brave souls, had shown that humans would never surrender, no matter the odds. As night fell over Karsis-9, the stars above seemed calm. But in the distance, faint flashes of light hinted at movement, fleets and shadows hidden beyond human sight. Lena looked at the horizon, her expression unyielding. Whatever they are, she whispered, they'll learn the same lesson we've learned. Humans fight. Humans survive. And humans never give up. A faint alarm rang from the observation deck. Sensors had picked up a new anomaly, a small object moving at impossible speed, leaving the system in silence. Lena narrowed her eyes. Was it a scout, a trap, or a warning? She didn't know, and perhaps that was the point. Humanity had survived against impossible odds before. Whatever awaited them beyond the stars, they would face it together, stronger, smarter, and braver than ever. Lena turned to Kale and the squad. Prepare for exploration and defense. The galaxy is vast, and our story isn't over. Not by a long shot. In the silent beauty of space, the alien signal pulsed faintly, a reminder that while the battle was won, the universe still held mysteries and threats beyond imagination. Humanity had emerged victorious, but the shadows beyond the stars promised new challenges, adventures, and trials. And as the twin sons of Karsis-9 rose once again, casting light across a recovering world, Lena knew one truth with certainty. The spirit of humanity was unbreakable, and the galaxy would never forget it.